What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
All right, well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Lions Talk Live morning show edition. And you know what? Hey, we're just a couple days away from the big showdown in Green Bay, heading back to Lambeau Field to see if we can make it our field once again. How many of you out there in Lions Talk Live Nation Uniting are going to head out to the game? I know there'll be a few of you guys there hanging out, watching and cheering on the team. I'm going to guess there's going to be a pretty good amount of Detroit Lions fans making the pilgrimage on over to Lambeau Field to support them boys and be a part of the game. All right, with all that, though, as you can see, we got a little bit of a topic today. What's your level of concern for the main topic of the day with the Detroit Lions? They had 10 guys out yesterday, including, as we're going to talk about, Jared Goff. But you know what? The Green Bay Packers are also facing a lot of injuries, or potential injuries, I should say. We're going to dive into all that with the main topic of the day. But before we do, a couple real quick things before we get the show going with 5 headlines now, etc. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're making that march to, 10,400 subs, and we are 41 subs away. So if you can help out with that, that would be great. Also, it's free of charge, takes half a second of time. Reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button. Try to get every video to 300 to 400 or more thumbs up or likes. If you can help out with that, that surely would be great. And thankful I would be. Last but never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, give me a call or shoot me a text. You now see my number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Give me a call. Let's see if we can have a real quick conversation, talk about what we can do to help make the process of either buying commercial property, a brand new house, vacant land, whatever it may be, a whole lot easier for you and your family. Reach out to me and we'll have a quick conversation. If you're outside the state of Michigan, you can still contact me. Just a couple of things I've got to do a little bit differently. All right, with all those formalities all out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the first segment of the show. And as you know, it is 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines now. Lions awarded Player of the Week honors for the 5th straight game. SB Nation, story by Eric Schlitz with this one. And yes, if you guys were not aware, man, I think I even made a thing for this. Yes, Khalif Raymond is going to be that Player of the Week, and probably not a big surprise for you guys. Hey, Leaf was all over the place. You heard MCDC talking about the post-game press conference. You heard about him talk about it the following day. Khalif Raymond was all over the field. His punt returns were phenomenal. Nearly had 2 of them go to the house instead of just 1. And, well, yeah, I guess you could even argue he might have had near a third, but yeah, that's right. 1 was called back because of the holding. But whatever you can say, Raymond was involved in the passing game for 2 straight weeks, punt returns all over the place. And if I'm going to guess, every team in the league right now is going to probably have a raised eyebrow about kicking him the ball. If the Lions continue to get special team productions the way they did last weekend in the future or the rest of the season, they're going to be a tough out for anybody because the defense is playing pretty well. And the offense, as we all know, is off the charts good. So good for Khalif Raymond. Jared Goff, 1 of 10 players listed as non-participants in Wednesday's practice. Athletic Sports, story by Tommy with this one. You know, we'll dive into this one probably more in-depthly during the main topic of the day. Is it something that should be a concern? To a certain degree, absolutely, I would say so. But I also know a number of you guys reached out to me yesterday, you know, texts and et cetera, Facebook or whatever, asking my thoughts on it. And I'll just real quickly, before we get on to the next topic, say this. As a coach, do you ever want people missing practice, missing reps? The easy answer is going to be no. And, Coach Rock, I know you'll probably be in the comment section, at least I would assume you would be. You can speak on it too, or anybody who's ever coached. You don't want people missing repetitions. But the good thing for the Detroit Lions is where we're at in the season. Also, the fact that you still have today's practice, Friday's practice to go through stuff. You know what? Especially with a veteran like Goff, who's, gosh, how long has he been in the league now? 8, 9 years, something like that. It's probably not as impactful if he misses one. Now, being the positive nanny that I am, I'd also look at it this way. You're giving Hendon Hooker a full day to get out there and develop stuff just in case he should need to get on the field. Or you can also just say to help expedite his growth over his rookies. Or I'm still considering this his rookie year, but it is technically his second season. All right, Detroit Lions news. 4 Lions make Pro Football Focus's mid-season All-Pro Team SB Nation story by Jeremy Risman. Let me pull this one on up, and then I've got one other thing for you guys too. All right, let's see. Probably not a big surprise here. All-Pro list by Penei Sewell. PFF notes that not only has Sewell not allowed 7 pressures all year, but his 86 overall PFF run blocking grade is second among all offensive tackles. Defensively, Aiden Hutchinson and Brian Branch both made the team. It's currently remarkable for Hutchinson to make the team, even though, it make the team when he only played in 4.5 games. But despite the injury, he still ranks second in pressures in the NFL at 45, with only Nick Bosa's 46 being more. It's also remarkable of the feat for Branch, who is in his first year playing full-time safety for the Lions. Branch led all NFL safeties with a 90.4 PFF grade, and his 86.6 coverage grade is only behind teammate Kirby Joseph and the Packers' Xavier McKinney, who tied in that respect. The last representative of the PFF All-Pro team for the Detroit Lions is Khalif Raymond, who just earned NFC Player of the Week honors after his breakout performance against the Tennessee Titans. Raymond was officially named second team All-Pro back in 2022, so this is just the continuation of his sensational career as a punt returner. All right, with all that being said, there's one other thing I want to throw at you guys. Not that this is necessarily one of the headlines now, but I did want to make you guys aware, just to give the guy his due when he can. Hey, Jared Goff sets yet another NFL record. And yes, if you're keeping score, that is 6 NFL records in just one season so far. Let that sink in. Jared Goff is setting NFL records, I guess you could say, at a record pace. Jared Goff has the highest completion percentage at 83 and passer rating 146.5 in any 5-game span in NFL history. And no, I don't have him in front of me, all the other records he's set so far this year, but he's set a gajillion of them. And if he keeps this up, he'll probably set a few more. He came real close to setting the all-time record for most consecutive completed passes, but as you guys remember, I think it was against the Dallas Cowboys. That streak ended early in the first quarter, which stopped him from getting that particular record. But kudos to Jared Goff and all that he is doing this season, and he really has been phenomenal, in my opinion. All right, going to the next of the 5 headlines now. Let's see. All right, here we go. Plenty of the line when on the line when Lions visit rival Packers. Field media level media. I've never heard of this publication before, but they do a deep dive analyzation of what's going on and what is all on the line for this particular game. And not just for the Lions, it's going to be for both teams. Let's see. Quarterback Amik Robinson is expecting an exciting development to there. He knows that place is going to be packed. You know you're going to have representation from both the Lions and obviously Packers home field. They're going to have a ton of people out there. It's going to be a loud house. It's going to be a mad house. It's going to be their house. And we all get Lions are loving nothing more than being road warriors and going out there and trying to put their foot into people's butts on the road. And if they do anything like they did in Minnesota, this should be a pretty good matchup for the Detroit Lions. They come out, they're going to have a lot of things going their way. They're going to have a lot of momentum. And yes, the Packers defense hasn't been what it's been in the last couple of years. Doesn't mean that Xavier McKinney hasn't been great this year. He's been very good. But the Packers defense, especially against the run, has been a little suspect. So if the Lions can establish a running game early and now free up Jared Goff to do what Jared Goff does as far as play action passes, this might be a great game. But the Packers, if they lose this game, And oh man, they're going to be down pretty heavy in the NFC North and just about halfway through the season. Also means they're going to be falling back a little bit further in the NFC playoff race. So they've got a whole lot to lose with this one. Not that the Detroit Lions don't. You want to maintain your number one seed status. You want to keep control of the NFC North. You know what? A win here, I think everybody watching gets it. You're taking a big, big step forward towards making sure both the number one seed and the NFC North are yours in the future. All right, next to the 5 headlines now. Hey, and this is good news. I'm talking about good news at a good time, at a good position. Broderick Martin returns to Lions practice, begins his 21-day evaluation clock. SB Nation story by Eric Schlitz. So, hey, Martin's been out for a while. He was looking real good in training camp. We all get it. And then the preseason, he dislocated one of his knees. Not a season-ending injury by any kneecap, I should say, not his complete knee, but you guys get it. His kneecap was displaced. He's now back, and they're going to start the evaluation clock on him. I would think it's in all likelihood, in my opinion, if he really develops, really improves, really is healthy, then I would not be surprised maybe somewhere early December, maybe even later next month, November, where we see Levi Onwuzurike as one end, Broderick Martin as another end, and then DJ Reader and Ali McNeil inside. Think about that massive line, and it would be massive because both your ends now, I'm trying to remember how much they both are, but I want to say that Broderick Martin's somewhere around 330 pounds, right in that range, and Levi Onwuzurike is over 300 pounds himself. That would be massive. That would mean that you're going to force teams to probably not run on you a whole ton with all the beef you got up front. Now, can you get some more pressure? Can you free up some blitzers to come in from the linebacking or I guess even secondary to get after the quarterback? That might be where they ultimately end up going. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day, and let's talk about these injuries. Let's talk about their impact on both teams, and let's talk about the game itself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day. All right, injuries, and we got more injuries, and hey, both teams are feeling it. So let's talk about the Packers first, since obviously they are the evil nemesis for this week. 7 players didn't participate on Wednesday, including Jordan Love with a groin. So other people not participating: cornerback Jair Alexander with a knee, running back Josh Jacobs ankle, center Josh Myers wrist, left guard Elton Jenkins with a glute muscle apparently, left tackle Rasheed Walker knee, safety Evan Williams hamstring. All 7 are starters. Love, Alexander, Jacobs, Walker, and Williams are dealing with new injuries coming out of Sunday's win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coach Matt LaFleur said Love is considered, quote, day-to-day, end quote, and will get a full they will get a full week to get ready if he can't play, because they do have the bye next week, I'm assuming. He's likely to be a game time decision. Jacobs is expected to still play despite missing Wednesday's practice. Jenkins played throughout the glute injury after missing Wednesday's practice last week. Expect him to be available Sunday. Walker previously had a knee injury during the season, but hasn't missed time. LaFleur said Williams felt something in his hamstring pregame last Sunday, but attempted to play through it. He exited the game and did not return. All right, that's it for the Packers. I would say for the Packers, there's really comes down to, and this is just me talking as a coach here, I think you might have to make a business decision with some of these guys. And I'm not trying to be, just a Lions fan here. I'm just trying to be, realistic for these people. Jordan Love, I guess if you have any worries, if the medical staff has any worries that he could really aggravate this thing and make it something that sticks around for weeks, maybe a month, you're probably not going to see him play at all. If they feel, man, he's going to be right as rain, no problem at all, then yes, he's going to play. Now, is he going to be less mobile? Yes, he is. Now, why does that matter? And anybody who's watched the Packers, watched Jordan Love, yes, he can throw the ball. He can rifle it all around. He does a great job of that stuff. But does he also rely on his mobility? I think most of us would probably say yes. Yes, he does. But with that being said, you take away that mobility. Do you take away something he innately wants to do? Scramble, get out of the pocket, get away from would-be tacklers, etc. Yes. So you're going to force Jordan Love to be in a bad situation to where he can now do something he innately wants to do. Why does this matter? Well, if If you're a non-scrambling quarterback, say a Jared Goff, does that really impact your game if you can't take off and run? Probably not too much, man. Jared Goff is not going to take off running and try to get away from tacklers. It's just not a part of his game plan. So if his ankle isn't 100%, it's really not going to be a big factor in him. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Jared Goff and the Lions. Goff is just one of 10 players who didn't practice on Wednesday. Some of them I don't think are big news, but let's dive into it. Hey, Coach Dan Campbell said he was planning on resting some veterans on Wednesday for, quote, recovery reasons. So you got basically these guys got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to just rest up, get ready for this game. Again, with most of these guys being veterans, Thursday, Friday, probably enough reps to get them ready for Sunday. But let's dive into it. Here is a list of players who didn't practice due to, quote, rest. Graham Glasgow, Levi Onwuzurike, Frank Ragnow, DJ Reader, Kevin Zittler. However, some names showed up on the injury report as non-participants but are dealing with some form of injuries. Aside from Goff, they are Taylor Deckard, chest, Malcolm Rodriguez, ankle. And by the way, it's not a high ankle sprain. So even if he misses this weekend's game, Rodrigo should be fine for the Texans with the ankle sprain. Sion Baki, knee, it was a new one to me. I didn't see where he got hurt. It must have been something in practice or whoever knows what. All right, so with those injuries for the Lions, it does sound like most of them are probably not really big threats. Their rest. But with Jared Goff, what do you guys have to say? The fact that he didn't go yesterday, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to look back on last Sunday's game and say, man, what was he doing in there in the third quarter? This game's a blowout. It's over. Tennessee's not going to come on back here today. So with that being said, every coach is under the gun whenever something pops up. And yes, Goff was out there. But if you do look to the sidelines, once he exited the game, he was standing, helmet on, didn't seem to be in any pain, wasn't wincing. He also didn't have medical staff treating him all over the place, trying to already address the issue. It'd be my anticipation, Goff, for the most part, is going to be good to go Sunday and not a big deal. Some of the other injuries with Taylor Decker, that might be one of the things you will have to question, because I know we talked about it during the live cast of the game. Now, that's 2 straight weeks where Decker just hasn't looked terrible for the majority of the game, but there's been little bits of evidence here and there that he's just not quite right. And whether or not that's something to do with this muscle or chest injury that got him sat out yesterday, I don't know. But if you remember the very first game against the Titans, Lions go play action pass, and man, Goff gets slammed from behind. Decker doesn't even get his hands on the guy rushing the quarterback. Makes the guy look like a superstar, makes him look like, man, the second coming of Derek Thomas or Lawrence Taylor. But I think some of that really is on Decker. You get through that first quarter where Decker does have some struggles, though. After that, the rest of the game, he looks pretty dang good to me. So is there something going on with Decker that maybe we're not aware of? Are you concerned at all that Jared Goff did not practice yesterday? I would say this was probably the most heavily watched practice for both teams today. Because if Jordan Love's not out there today, I would say his chances of playing Sunday really take a pretty good drop. I would say 50-50 at best, flip the coin. Jared Goff, if he wasn't out there today, now that's a big concern to me, because Jared Goff, can he get by probably on 1 day of reps? Probably. But if I'm Ben Johnson, which is why I put him in the thumbnail for this video, you want to work on some stuff to catch the Packers and their defense, because the way the Packers defense likes in the second layer, the linebackers and the secondary likes to overflow from side to side. They're highly aggressive. So you're going to want to use that against them. So if he's not out there today, that's probably a bit of a problem. But I'm suspecting, it's just my suspicion, but I don't have any kind of confirmation of it right now. I do think Jared Goff will be a go today. I do suspect most of these players listed for the Lions will be out there today, and you're probably in pretty good shape. If he's not, though, that's going to be a big worry for every Lions fan. Now, if I'm the Packers, again, if Love isn't out there today, I'm thinking, 50-50 at best. Maybe you could say 40-60 that he plays. And I'm thinking the Lions are probably preparing for Malik Willis. All right, guys, there's your main topic of the day. There is no special guest today, although Kurt the Hitman Steele will be on tomorrow. And then we're working on a couple other guys maybe for the weekend. All right, so let's get over to the Duke Crew in the comments section, see what you guys have to say about all of these things. And if you got any other thoughts, by the way, go ahead and let me know in the comment section, and I trust you guys will. So, all right, Michael, great salutations, Coach and Duke Crew, exclamation points, Superdome, Super Bowl, One Pride, woo, woo. and good morning to you too, Michael. Hopefully it is a great one. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. I love the smell of burnt cheddar in the morning. Smells like victory. Woo! I'll go with that, and good morning to you too, Bo. Michael D, the NFL is sending the fixer to the fixer to Green Bay, which is why all the questionable calls going. I did a video on it yesterday. Some people love the video, some people don't. It's, I'd say, par for the course. The only thing I could say is with Clayton Blankman, I'm just surprised, and this is just my personal opinion. I'm just surprised the NFL would put him and his crew out there, considering some of the history him and, to be fair, when he's been the head guy for the crew, have had with the Detroit Lions, even in Lambeau Field. And I won't do a full video on it. If you want to know what it is, go and check it out on the channel. But yeah, I was very surprised to see him him and his crew be assigned to this particular game. Big Daz, what do you got? Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Back at you. Hopefully it's a good one. Clark, good morning, Duke Crew. Coach, in trade updates? Question mark. Nothing official yet, but I know a lot of people are wanting more information on a couple of guys. Yes, there is a little bit of emerging information this morning before I went on air about one particular trade option for the Detroit Lions. I'm trying to get some stuff confirmed, and maybe I'll have like a midday show, like 10 or 11 a.m. or something like that for you guys. All right, Trey, what's good all? Question mark. Man, I am praying Goff's ankle isn't a big deal. I don't think it is, but one never knows, man. I mean, he played throughout basically the majority of the game other than the fourth quarter. At that point, they took him out, and again, his helmet was on. He was on the sideline, wasn't getting any medical treatment. Didn't seem like he was wincing in pain or anything. So I don't think it's a big deal, but I can also understand why they're trying to rest it in 3 days of rest. I've said it to everybody during the live cast, man. Anything to do with swollen ankle, man. My old school philosophy, get a bunch of leeches, slap those things on, let them go to work. That swelling will be gone in no time. All right, Big Daz, and no, I don't think they're going to do that with Goff. Big Daz, I hope they get a decent defensive end soon so I don't have to holler at my TV because the opposing quarterback has all day to throw. We'll see what shakes out, man. I think they're in a bidding war for one particular guy. And again, I'll save it for a midday show, and they might get outbid. It's that simple, unfortunately. Moonscar, good morning, Duke Crew starting lineup, exclamation point. One pride, exclamation point. I don't think Jared Goff, not practicing is much of a concern. Let the vet get a little mid-season rest. He'll be ready. Yeah, and I think you're probably spot on with that. Doug, here's my question. Would we rather face Willis or Love? Question mark. I'm not sure. Well, let's be analytical of both guys. Love right now is probably the better passing quarterback. And yes, even if he's out there playing, like we already talked about, his mobility is going to be limited. I mean, there's just no way around that with his injury. Even if it's a mild injury, if he runs too much, he risks aggravating it. Willis, on the other hand, was going to be able to run all over the place. The kid is incredibly athletic, and he does have a big-time arm. He can rifle that ball all around the field. Now, is he going to be as good at reading the coverages as Love? That's debatable. To be fair, I haven't watched enough tape on him to be able to say one way or the other, but I'm just going to suspect he's not going to be quite the same passer Love is. Otherwise, he probably would already be the starter, right? But to be fair, he has led this team to 3 wins this year, and maybe even more. Is it more than that? But I don't even know if Jordan Love has won a game yet. Maybe I'm wrong with that. Maybe Love's won 1 and Willis has won 3. So I'd have to check on that. All right, Moonscar, besides all of those plays they had for last week, they didn't use. So they are still all still available. Yes, all the plays are still available 100%. Yeah, and I know Ben Johnson talked about it, that he wasn't able to get to all the packages he wanted to use to put on tape to try to throw a lot of stuff at Green Bay to make them prepare for things ultimately they may not even see. So is what it is indeed. Jason, greetings, salutations all. Looking forward to a rainy win Sunday, Superdome or bust. I'm down with that, and hopefully it's not too bad out there. But I know the weather's not going to be the greatest. Darcy, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew and Coach! Exclamation point. Hey, Coach, Houston gets more snaps this week. I wouldn't have, if the weather would have been better, I probably would have said yes. But the fact that the weather is going to be, it's not going to be ideal. I think that means both teams probably rely on the running game at least a little bit more. So Houston, as we know, unless something has really changed in practice, it's just not really his greatest aspect of his defense or his game. So we'll see. If he gets 15 to 20 snaps, I think that's probably in line. my guess is the Lions go with a bigger line to try to force Green Bay to be much more one-dimensional. Big Daz, if it would have been Green Bay last week, things would have been different. They would have marched down the field and couldn't stop them. Yes, it could be true. Could be true. Moonscar, I will take Love with a groin injury to slow him down a bit. Hopefully that gives our D-line a little more time to get to him. Yeah, I agreed with that. Yeah, he's not going to be able to get out there and run all over the place, try to get out of pressure. So he'll be a statue for the most part. He'd be like facing Jared Goff. Somebody can throw the ball, read defenses, do a lot of good things, but the mobility is just not there. That's why, like I was saying, with Goff's ankle, I just don't think it's a big deal, assuming he's able to go out there today and practice, because you're asking somebody who has no mobility to be somehow less mobile, and I don't see it's a big deal. Mike the Marine Gunny, howdy Dan and Duke Crew. I'm ready for Smash Mouth Football Sunday. This Sunday. Woo! By the way, daylight savings is this Sunday. Fall back 100%. Yeah, a lot of you guys said, man, what happened to Ant-Man Tuesday? He did reach out to me and said, here daylight savings started, I think he said last weekend. So he had forgot that there's now a 4-hour time difference versus a 5-hour time difference. So he was ready to get on, but unfortunately like an hour late. Big Daz, when we blitz, we don't seem to get to the quarterback. DBs are out there far too long. They're going to have to speed some things up. Some of it is, I know last week, Tennessee picked up the blitz pretty well. The other part is I think some of the delayed blitzes are just too delayed. You're giving guys, 2-3 Mississippis before the linebackers even start going in after the quarterback. Matthew, Green Sanitations, good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila likes to woo in the fresh morning dew. How about a nip of the dew and a fresh morning woo from Sheila? You want a Sheila? I'll give you a Sheila. 1, 2, 3. Assuming I can find it, I'll give you a buttons. Jesse, Green Sanitations all. Coach Dan, do you doing a live show for the game Sunday? Yeah, I'll go ahead and do one. So I'll put it up. I don't know, Friday or Saturday, the link for it, and you guys can hop on in. It seems like everybody enjoys it for the most part, but if you guys have any ideas for the live cast, throw them at me. Hatman, top of the morning, Dan the man, and the Motley Duke crew. Can I get a woo? All right, you want a woo? I'll give you a woo. 1, 2, 3. Stephanie, good morning, boys! Exclamation point. Let's get this game going. Can't wait for us to beat down the Packers and take one step closer to winning the NFC North. I'm down with that. We win the North, you're probably going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. France, good day all. Back at you, my friend. Hopefully it's a good afternoon for you. See, Matthew, I am not concerned about Goff practicing. He is one of those very smart players that can read the playbook and have it down the first time. If anything, it gives Hendon Hooker more first-team reps. Yeah, I agree with you, Matthew. Me, just the way I try to think of things or say on stuff, I'm looking at the positive. Hey, you're help accelerating Hendon Hooker's growth and development, should he ever be needed, or maybe if we get another big blowout where he can get in the fourth quarter, and maybe now you feel more comfortable allowing him to do stuff. Broski, I am the Broski with the Moski. We will see if you are. Let's see, John King, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Hope the refs don't put their thumbs on the scales like the close games and Lions have been destroying teams lately. Let's hope they continue destroying the teams. Yeah, if they go out there and just beat up the Pack, maybe if it's anything like last year, that would be great. Papa, good morning to us all. I do believe Goff will be around, sound for Sunday's contest. I hope so too, man. I think so too. JK, Goff didn't practice yesterday because he was taking the Mount Everest to face the cold and wind to withstand the Packers game. Taking on Mount Everest, you had to get used to the conditions. I'm down with that. Lions Talk Live fam, just keep everyone safe and healthy. I agree with that fully. See, Dr. Troy Broski, welcome back. Did you lick in your wounds? All right, we'll find out. Quentin, greetings, salutations. Man, that ain't Broski. Okay, I have no idea, man. I'll let Moonscar dive into that. Twin Peaks, good morning, Duke crew. Back at you. Hopefully it was a good start to your day. Dr. Troy, Goff has an ankle, no biggie. Yes, he had, Goff, like I said, he's not going to run around more or less, whether his ankles are good or bad. Let's see, Johnny L, good morning, you awesome Duke crew. I hope all is well with you all. So all of you. And then, yeah, same with you, Johnny L. Hopefully it's a good start to your day. Voltron, good morning. Anyone with an idea how many trick plays we run Sunday? I'm going to guess quite a bit. And again, I know I talked about it a little bit earlier, but if you watch the Packers, I think defensive line is pretty technically sound. And not that the rest of the team isn't, but if you watch their second layer and then their third layer, they really like to over pursue and flow. So yes, I'm guessing if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm doing a couple things to try to, especially early in the game, use that against them to try to at least make them somewhat stagnant to where they're stopping, pausing. Is this a trick play or not? You get people hesitating in sports, you got a big advantage over them. And even though it may only be a half a second of hesitation, think about how fast somebody can get, down the field or get in and out of their route or whatever it may be in just a half second. Twin Peaks, it's a great morning, Johnny L. I'm glad to hear that. Broski, I am the Broski. Hear me roar. Okay, fair enough. You're roaring away. Dr. Troy, why haven't we picked up a star edge and rushing linebacker? So I'll save it for the midday show, but it does sound like the Lions are in a bidding war with at least one other team for one of the deals that we're really after. And because of that, I think the bidding war may escalate to the point. If you guys remember Montez Sweat, I broke the news. What was that, a year ago or something like that? Like the week before any trades with him and Chase Young happened, I said, hey, some friends of mine are saying it was a 3rd round pick they wanted and maybe something else. I want to remember. I want to say like a 3rd and a 5th or something. And Sweat ended up going to the Bears, obviously, for a 2nd, which just simply put the price tag on him out of what Brad Holmes wanted to give up for him. So, and then was it Chase Young went for a 3rd round pick. And to me, that was a no-brainer if you wanted Chase Young, which obviously the Lions didn't, because if you gave up a 3rd round pick for him, you knew if you didn't re-sign him and he signed with somebody else, you would get a 3rd round pick. So I thought that one was, like basically no costs. All right, Mutzgar, if you're the real Brosi, what's the code phrase for when we spot the fake? That I don't. Oh, wait. Yeah, I do know. Let's see. Jedi Sith, I hear Smith didn't practice yesterday in Cleveland. Does anyone think that's a sign he gets traded? I think you're onto something there. I do know that he didn't practice. Now, does it become that Detroit Lions are trying to get him, or are the Detroit Lions now in a bidding war for his services? That's where I think things are, but we'll wait and see. Twin Peaks, my bet is getting Smith today, Dr. Troy. Okay. Dr. Troy Broski, you whimpered last week and ran into the cave and hit. Yes, he did. Let's see, Muskar, Dr. Troy, that is not him. Fair enough. Dr. Troy, we need more than Smith, but that's a nice start. It would be. Okay. Broski, Washington cheated. Should have been called for 2 to 3 holdings on that Hail Mary. If you want me to just be as honest as it can be, yes, you can see a hold or 2 on that. Do I think the refs are going to call it in that situation? Probably not. I don't think any of the holds were egregious, but you could also say this. There's probably holding on almost every NFL play with offensive linemen. It's just part of the game. Dr. Troy Broski still hiding in a cave? It might be. If that's not the real one, then yes, it might be. Hardy, what do you got? Coach Dan, didn't Goff say in an interview he was resting his ankle and taking an extra day to heal up for Sunday? I think so. I think you are spot on with that. And hopefully it's just yesterday. Hopefully he's back out there today. Hey, man, I see Fake Broski is here again today. Might be. Yes, we've had him for, God, I don't know, months now, it seems like. Twin Peaks or Bears should have played better. That's also a good thought there. Play better. Don't leave it up to a Hail Mary to beat you. Moonscar, yep, still not here. Okay. JK, Fake Broski, wifey. All right. Johnny L, I sure do hope that Jared Goff is good to go for this week. This one. Yeah, I'm guessing he will be. It's just today, to me, it's the money rounds today of a boxing match. If Love and Goff aren't out there, that's a big issue for both teams. Now, who's going to overcome it better? I'll worry about that on Friday or whatever. But if I'm the Packers, again, I think you got to make a business decision with Jordan Love. And this isn't me being a Lions fan, but if the medical staff says he's not, hey, there's no chance he can injure this thing more, he should be fine. If it's me, I'm saying, hey, I'm sitting him because now I've got the bye next week. So you basically give him almost 3 weeks off to heal up because they do have a stretch of games coming up after us that are just, they're going to be tough games. And you're on the cusp of making or falling out of the playoffs. And if you feel like by playing him, you have a realistic chance to further that injury, man, you might really just knock yourself out of the playoffs. That's where I think if I'm Green Bay, it's a tough one. Dave Bing, good morning. Oh, woo, give me one, coach. You want one? I'll give you one. 1, 2, 3. All right, Moonscar. Hello, Mr. Dave Bing and Dr. Drake. Jared Goff is fine. It's outdoor and with bad weather. I'm sure it will be run heavy. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so they're not going to ask him to move around a whole ton. Not that they normally do, anyways. Matthew Broski in a darkness retreat. Maybe. It does seem odd that he has. If that's not the real Broski, it does seem odd that he's chosen now after the fail Mary or whatever you want to call it to kind of run and hide. Dr. Troy, laughing out loud. I actually work with the real Dave Bing. All right. That's pretty awesome, man. That's pretty awesome. Dave Bing, Woodskar Blade, morning. Okay. Let's see, Steve, what do you got? Good morning to everyone on the show. The fail has me a little bit concerned. Okay. Well, hopefully not too much. Robert, greetings and salutations back at you. Moonscar, Dr. Troy, that's awesome. It is pretty awesome. JK, speaking of Everest, after 100 years, someone finally found a boot. Sandy Irvin, who disappeared, their Mallory was found in 99. Okay. Yeah, I did see something, I want to say a week or so ago, about a foot or boot that showed up, from somebody who had been lost on the mountain. So, that we do an entire show about that mountain and the bodies up there. Dr. Troy, he's a nice guy. Hope so, man. Hope so. Steve, what I meant to say was the thumbnail has me concerned. Let's hope there by tomorrow or later today there is less concern. So we'll go with that. Dale, green sanitations, he will be fine, but Decker needs to snap out of his slow starts. Get your stuff together, Decker, and snap out of it. Yeah, and whatever game it was 2 games ago, the Minnesota Vikings, I thought he played great other than that third quarter. And then, obviously, the first quarter against the Titans. So, something's going on. He's got to snap out of it and get, you're right, Dale, play a full game. Matthew, if we get Smith and can't work a deal for Garrett also, I sure hope we get Tavon Walker or Trey Hendrickson. I know a lot of people are on the Hendrickson train, and maybe something happens. My only question with them is why would you trade them? I mean, they are in a position to make the playoffs. Their schedule, and I don't have it in front of me, but I think it lightens up a bit where they probably are going to win some games. So what would be the motivating factor to get rid of Trey Hendrickson? I mean, maybe they just don't want to resign him. So they're like, hey, we'll get rid of you now and get something for more of a long-term investment. So I guess it could be possible. I'll be surprised if they do that one. But Walker, man, if they got Smith and Walker, I'd be totally fine with it, especially considering the long-term benefits for the team. Twin Peaks, most of the OGs get Wednesday off. This isn't shocking to see them not practice. Yes, you're correct with that. Correct. I'd say Dale, Smith and Keys would be great and would not break the bank. Probably very true. Johnny L, Dr. Troy, I hope you're right because HH is not ready. Hendon Hooker, correct. Let's see, Bo, the Hillary step actually fell away 2 years ago. I'm down with that. Let's see, Don, come on, Coach Dan, you know guys sat for rest and recovery purposes. Sometimes, yes, 100% with that. And the other guys, like Goff, like I said, I'm sure you heard there, Donber, if he's not out there today, that's where the real big concern comes today. All right, see, Dale, if we get Trey, it would be great also. 100% with that. Agree with that. Broski, a.k.a. Hibernate. I'm agreeing with that. Twin Peaks, Trey is not going to happen. We would have to sell the farm. Yeah, and I would think to get him from Cincinnati, I'm, again, kind of already just said it, but why would they get rid of him? And that's, I guess, my big question for you guys. Don, Brad is not making a trade. Za'Darius is a bidding war for him. Yes, and right now it does sound like there's several teams trying to acquire his services. Moonscar, good morning. Yeah, yay, Dodgers. Yes, 100% there. Lions Talk Live fan, Aiden Keys, maybe. JK, if he needs to quit playing games, buddy. Yeah, if he needs to quit playing games, buddy. I think it's more just the fact that Achilles is legitimately injured. And no, they didn't do surgery on it, but they've been trying to rehab it for 2 months now, something like that at least. So is he going to come back this year? Man, I just don't really know. Coach Rock, good morning. All looks like a good rainy day practice. It will be 100%. Doug, the trades can still happen even if they are done November 5th. The practice for a week. Right now, better see what we have before making big changes. All right, we'll go with that. And good morning, Doug. Michael, Goff was cautionary. Why should he practice? He knows the plays. This is true. Let's hope so. Jason, I'll be there with my Hutch jersey. Go enjoy it, and have a good time at the game, my friend. Johnny L, Not fake. Just change the pick. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Let's see, Moonscar. Breaking news: Chicago put Bill Murray on IR. I know he's a Chicago fan, but man, at his age, I don't think he'd make it to the end of the season. Fair enough. And hey, hopefully he's okay. Let's see, David. My edge wish list: Keon White. Me too, man. That would be great from New England. Trey Hendrickson, Cincinnati. Sam Hubbard, Cincinnati. Zadarius Smith, Cleveland. Giovanni and Clowney, Carolina. Carl Granderson, New Orleans. Aiden Key, Tennessee. Not a bad list at all, my friend, and good morning. Mr. Nico, we're going to set Smith and we're going to get Smith and someone else. Hooker is staying in Detroit, and Houston might be gone. We need to keep our foot on the gas and not choke. Okay, I'm down with that if we get somebody. I just hope it's sooner versus later so we can move on from the topic. Doug, Brad, just creating more of a bidding war. Smart dude. Maybe indeed. All right, Justin, David, nice list, but no, I think he had Walker in there. Maybe not, but yeah, maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't, Justin. I don't know. Derek, good morning, coach and crew. Last minute shopping means higher prices. I'm excited to see if Bargain Brad can pull off a good deal. I think we're all waiting for that, my friend, 100%. Let's see, Jeffrey, Dan said it was a rest day. Yeah, rest day. Yeah, I got you, man. Again, I think the worry really comes if you're Lions, if they're not out there today, or later today. So I got to remember where I'm at in the week. Rocky, what do you got? As Allen Iverson said, practice. I don't need practice. These guys will be just fine putting the training team to work. There you go. And get some extra reps for those guys. Flathead, skip the Packers. I'm down with that. Matt, who cares? Hooker is getting reps. This is true. He is getting reps and getting a chance to develop. JK, wet and icy fields, no problem. Run the ball, do short passes, etc. Yeah, they're probably going to do with that stuff. Matt, another great stream. Thanks for that, man. Thank you for that. Good to see you, by the way, my friend. Doug, maybe develop a few run packages for Hendon. Maybe that's what they're working on. Twin Bigs, it won't be icy. Temps in the mid-50s. Okay, well, just rainy and muddy. How about that? JK, I read it will be icy wet. It was fake then. All right. It happens, man. It happens. Keith, though, come on, Brad, and go get Keon's White. There you go. And I'd be down with that. I think he'd be a real nice addition long term for us. Earl, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you, Earl. Rocky, on another note, joking all aside, no, I don't want the players to miss their reps. Very important for. So, I mean, Rock, you know about it. You're a coach and such. The only thing I really have is, yes, some of them are veteran. It's not a big deal. But if you are going to work on some new plays or trickeration, especially for that particular game, you've probably worked on it more in different aspects of the season or preseason, but you really try to hone it down, refresh it, get everything all set for this particular game. Yes, they still have today and tomorrow, but if some of these guys miss today, that's where it becomes concerning. All right, Keito, yeah, I knew where you were going with that, man. Frank, good morning, Duke Crew, East Side. Woo, woo, go Lions, and back at you. Twin Peaks, Keon White is someone who I want. Just don't think Brad spends that type of capital. Probably not, man. And I know a lot of people are speculating, hey, what's it going to cost to get this guy or that guy? Man, it's so hard to predict. I know a lot of people, when we didn't get Montez Sweat, a lot of people are jumping up in arms. Hey, originally it was supposed to be a 3rd round pick, whatever. Only problem is somebody said, hey, no, we'll give you a 2nd round pick. And that's what happens in bidding wars. It doesn't matter what the team was originally looking for. It's what somebody was willing to up the offer to. So the Detroit Lions, the only way you were going to ever leapfrog the Chicago Bears was to give up your 1st. And I think that's where they just made a business choice and said, Montez Sweat, we're not giving up a 1st round pick for him. It's nothing against him. I think he would have helped the team, but they ended up not wanting to give up a 1st for him. Moodscar, good morning, Frank. Thank 100%. Hatman, pretty dang good for a bridge quarterback. I'll go with that. Yes, I would agree with that 100% with golf. Matt, great stuff. Congratulations to golf. Yes, indeed. Keito, so I take it Love is playing. I don't think there's going to be anything firm until probably Friday. And who knows? Maybe they just wait to game time to make the choice. But if he's not out there today practicing for Green Bay, I would say that really limits the chances of him playing Sunday. Never know, though. Let's see. Fred, good morning. Exclamation point. It's a great day to be a Lion. Exclamation point. One pride. 100%, Fred. Good to see you this morning. Good morning, Moodscar. Back at you both. Philippines on demand. What do you got? The Lions drew that cheating NFL officiating crew. Hold on to your hats, folks. Let's see how bad they mess us over this time. And that's one thing we're all going to have to pay attention to. And it just is what it is. Hopefully it's a non-factor. Hopefully nothing awry happens. But I know I mentioned in the video yesterday, My problem if I'm the NFL by assigning that crew, if some sort of controversial ending or play happens in the game, it just adds another layer to it that's really not needed because of the history with Clete Blankman and the Lions. Johnny L, let's go Lions. Woo! Can I get a Sheila? Woo! You want one? I'll give you one. And there you go. Johnny L, don't forget to push that button. Yes, hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you guys would. Bradley, what do you got? Trade JMO? We'll see what shakes. Michael, should be an old-fashioned football game for sure. 100%. Yeah, it might be that kind of old-school game. Power formations all over the place. Max protection, running out of it. Short dump-off passes, play-action passes. Don, love JMO, but fast wide receiver come out of the draft every year. Get it together. Oh, hopefully he does, man. Hopefully he does. Although, to be fair, it sounds like he didn't break any laws, really. So, I don't know, man. We'll see what shakes out with that story. Fred, I'm not happy about Packers injuries. I'm not happy about any Packers injuries. I want them 100% healthy. I want no reason for excuses. Hey, that's not a bad idea there, Fred. And yes, if they lose the game, that's where everybody's going to go with it. DM5, Bradley Hall, come on, man. JMO is the future of the team. If he does so much that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. But yes, if he keeps getting into trouble, I agree, but not yet. I'll okay with that. Where is Stephanie? I think she was in the chat. Was she not? But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I thought she was in there. Let's see. Moonscar, I'm less and less confident that Brad Holmes makes a trade at all. I see him more bringing in someone like a Charles Harris type of ad or Melvin Ingram, someone older. Also, CFL season ends. Ooh, yeah, 11-17. How about that? So, hey, maybe you're right. Maybe we get bets back. Let's see. Fred, I agree. DM5, not yet. He's still immature. We need someone to help the kid grow up. Yeah, and I do think if you go back and see when he was drafted to where he is now, he has matured. Doesn't mean he's fully mature, but he's making some steps forward. Trump's Packers injuries mean nothing. We are hurt too. This is correct. Let's see. Don Moonscar, I don't see a trade coming at all. Maybe not. Maybe not. Johnny L, trade JMO is not an option. There you go. Dale, stop whining about JMO already. He's not going anywhere. I would agree. He's probably not going anywhere. Dennis, good morning. Dan and Dukru, good to see you, my friend. As always, Moonscar Don Burr, I'm believing you for sure. Okay. Jason, I'm leaning towards Brad Holmes doing nothing. I think every day that passes, we're probably all on that same page. So I agree with you there, Jason. Doug, always a concern if the OL stutters. Goff can have issues in natural windies and cold. There you go, windless and cold. I'm down with that. And yes, he does at times. Fred Moonsky, I only see a trade for a second tier trade for depth or at rotation. I'm not seeing any big name players coming in. Yeah, that does seem like that's coming off the board. Trey, peace and power to the chat this rising. Have a great one, everyone. Same to you, Trey. Hopefully it is a great day for you and yours. Gary, good morning, all. Grit for life, exclamation point. I hope Decker gets his blocking figured out because Goff can't handle a lot of that punishment. Dan, what do you think is going on with Decker this year? Really, I think he's been fine all year other than, obviously, the third quarter against Minnesota and then the first quarter last week against Tennessee. What it is, I mean, I would have to watch more film to probably have a better answer for you, but, we'll pay attention to it. If it happens again this week, now you got a real good trend. 3 straight games. That would start being concerning to me as a coach. All right, Jason, Brad is a draft wizard, but his trades are less than stellar. There's probably a lot of truth to that. Yada yada, what do you got? What up, though? Hey, haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you, yada yada. Exclamation point. I haven't the morning, but I'm a father, so I've been really busy. Woo, woo, woo. Hey, man, you got to be the dad first, man. The show, you can always watch it tape delayed or whatever. And good to see you as always, my friend. Sir, good morning, coach and everyone. Back at you. Domber, Isaiah Thomas, James Houston, Levi Pascal, Ugwa, however you spell it, is our defensive ends. Probably a lot of truth to that. And, Broderick Martin, I do think he'll get some time in there once he's fully back. Great Lakes, good morning, coach and crew, exclamation point. I think Mahogany was brought up because of Zettler's injury. Long season to go yet. Yes, 100%. And plus, I mean, if they added him to the 53-man roster, I know we talked about it yesterday, they had to see that, man, this kid's got some abilities, and he's only going to get better. So to take up one of those precious 53 spots and give it to a rookie who's missed so much time says a lot about that rookie. Matt, I hope Decker is okay. He is a must starter. I agree with that. Agree. Fred, Trump's, yes, Packers injuries are pointless because of our own injuries, but I don't want to hear any excuses from Packers fans when they lose. They're correct with that, 100%. Miles Barker, yada yada's good old bro. Woo! There you go. Yes, 100% there. Dale, Holmes will make a trade if Martin and the other defensive line doesn't show any signs of being ready for the spotlight. I'll go with that. Let's see, Great Lakes. Decker's got the new baby fatigue. I have to wonder if his offseason surgery had anything to do with it. Maybe, but at least to me, last week, especially on that first play, he gets out of the stance slow, and he never extends the elbows to make any contact with the pass rusher. To me, that was probably the biggest issue. Frank, what up, Moonscar? Johnny L, I don't believe that Hendon Hooker is ready yet. Probably not, but hey, only one way to find out. JK, Holmes getting a second-tier guy for the defense end rotation is very likely, in your opinion. Hey, could be spot on with that. Raymond, what do you got? The Lions haven't given Hooker enough reps. Well, he got a little bit more yesterday, so give him time. It'll just slowly develop him like most people who develop backup quarterbacks. Matt, let's get those likes up. Dan is a hard-working man. Keeping us Lions fans all updated. I do what I can, and I enjoy doing this too. So hopefully you guys enjoy the show as well. Yada yada. I'm drinking my morning coffee. Can I get a woo woo woo? You want one? I'll give you one. Why not? Why not? Indeed. So 1, 2, 3. Let's do a. And now you have one. Let's see. Motown. Green citations. Coach and Duke Crew. Lions rule. Bears drool. I like the way you're thinking as always, Motown. Luke, what do you got? Top of the morning. Any update on edge rushers? Nothing as of yet this morning. So I'll keep on it though. Dimitri, what up, though? Dan and Lions fam, how you doing there today? And hopefully it's a great day for you, Dimitri. Let's see. Yada yada. If Goff didn't play, Sonny Hooker can still win. Let's hope so. Let's see, Raymond. I wouldn't mind seeing Hooker out there. Might get your chance. Hopefully it's a blowout for us. So in the fourth quarter, maybe they can get him a few more reps, I should say. Courtney, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. My Saints source says Garrison or Chase Young possible additions to Lions. We'll see if that shakes out 100%. I know a lot of people would like Granderson. I'd say DM5. Hopefully Brad pulls off something good. However, time is running out. If he fails to make a move and we don't win at all, Brad's dollar store mentality has to be looked at as a weakness going forward. If we don't make a move and go into the playoffs and lose before the Super Bowl, there will be a lot of boo birds that will come out and point out to that. So it's the nature of the beast. You're gonna ride by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. David, okay. Yada. Hopefully Hooker is practicing with the ones. Yeah, last week he probably got, yesterday he probably got all the ones, all the reps with the ones. Johnny, hopefully we have some actual news today and not gossip. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's see, Keith, any updates on when Iffy will be back? None whatsoever. So I'm just waiting for them to give us more information regarding that. Dimitri, hit that thumbs up button for Dan. Thanks for that. Dale, good luck with that. John Meadows is laughing out loud. The Philippines, JMO, if you're watching Lions Talk Live, I support you, brothers. ! Stay positive, but be smarter. Much love and respect. Yeah, just keep evolving, keep growing. Keep putting yourself in good situations. Johnny L, I've hit the pause button way too much. Dang it. It happens, man. It happens. Let's see, Doug, 5 days until the deadline after the trade. We can still see what we actually have that's good enough to count on in the meantime. There you go. Traders actually let their demands lower just a bit, like a 6th round instead of a 5th rounder. Yeah, you might be spot on with that. JK, Iffy out for the season, Iffy season. Okay. David, I love first seed in the NFC feeling. I just hope we can win and keep another week. I would hope so too. Tavo, what do you got? McCann, good morning. If we miss out on an elite defensive end, should we pivot and trade for Buda and Baker and go back to the high safety look to allow more time to get after the quarterback? Perfect combo, Baker and Arian Key. Could they do it? Sure. But I think the problem is right now the Cards are in first place of their division. So I don't think they're going to give them up. At least not without a king's ransom. It would be different if they were in last place and just no realistic expectation to make the playoffs. Yada yada. Broski, I thought your Bears were again finish either 16-1 or 15-2. I knew them bums weren't going to finish either 16-1 or 15-2. Yeah, they're not going to finish either now. Mile marker. Did you guys see Anzalone on NFL Saints Cam Jordan? ? He implied how young are Lions, that he's an old man, but no, he'd be a middle age guy. Yes, I'll go with that. New Orleans, he would be a middle age guy. Correct with that. Frank the Tank, this team does not need a big name player. We have enough big names on the team. You got all go Lions. Fair enough. Yes, we've got some pretty good talent. Luke, what do you got? NFC playoffs are going to be interesting this year. Yeah, you could actually see all four teams from the NFC North make the playoffs. Frank, Dan Campbell is not going to let the referees growing this game. I see the Detroit Lions dominating the Green Bay Packers. Go Lions. I'm down with that. I like the way you're thinking. Chris Steele, what up, though, Duke Crew? What's up to you, man of Steel? Johnny L, look, you are right about that. Frank Tank, yeah, it's the fake broski. Okay, Johnny L, but it's going to be fun. Let's hope so. Frank, what up, though, East Side? Motor City Pod, Dan said it was a recovery day. He was holding a number of guys out. Correct with that. Correct. 313. Who are we bidding for? Question mark. Just the one or two players. Your guess is as good as mine. I've got a pretty good idea on Smith being one of the guys we're trying to bid to outbid other teams to get. All balls no D. Good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you, David. I hope Goff can keep his hot streak going. So far ahead of we got Hooker for the 4th and cut him loose so he could become trade bait and a starter somewhere. Maybe we do trade him. All balls. He absolutely said he's not playing, so no worries about Goff. Yeah, he's going to play. I'm fairly certain of it. Frank, think this offseason will struggle sometimes during this season. Just don't give up on Detroit Lions. You are one game. It's not going to make a difference. Go Lions. Okay, yeah, if we lose, it's not the end of times. I agree with you on that, Frank. Think. Patrick, just tuned in. Any news on trade scene? Go Lions. None as of this morning. So, I don't have anything news, any new news. How about that? Frank, think there's no way Detroit Lions trade Hooker. Okay. Johnny L, can you get Brad Holmes on here soon? I'll see what I can do. Dale, don't forget, everyone, the NFL has assigned the most Lions-hating referee crew that they have for our game. You could be right with that. As far as their past results with the Lions. Frank Tank, don't worry about Goff playing outside of this team, playing on grass. They will beat you anywhere, and then get you beat in a landmine. They have go Lions. I'm down with that. Yeah, I think, Frank, you're right. The Lions should play well this weekend. Johnny L, or maybe MCDC as a guest on here. I'll see what I can do. Dimitri, Don Burr, what up, though? Dennis Broski, come out and play. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen him. Frank Tank, all we need to believe in this team, the players they have here, is that our team go. Yeah, go Detroit Lions. I'm down with that. Dave, getting locked in on our guy in a bidding war seems like a bad strategy. Yeah, and I think that's something Brad Holmes probably isn't going to do. He's not going to overpay for somebody. Silent Service, I don't think Brad will trade. You might be right. JK, where's Steph at? She looks badly. I don't know. I thought I saw her this morning. You guys let me know, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Frank Tank accepts clowning. Let's see. Jason Hendricks did not practice yesterday. Not on injury report. Ooh, I guess I didn't know that one. Thank you for that, Jason. I wouldn't know. Greetings, Sanitations coach. I would love the Lions this weekend. 24-17 Lions. Woo, woo. I like the way you are thinking, my friend. Frank Tank, we all need to remember last year we were all saying the same thing, and they did not trade for nobody. Believe in the guys we have here now. You might be right with that. Dominic, good morning from Texas. Good to see you as always. Silent Service, I really want to see Broderick Martin before he got hurt in camp. He was showing a lot of promise. Me too, man. I ultimately think him and Levi Onwuzurike will end up being your ends if we don't acquire somebody. Let's see. Miles Marker, Green Bay forecast sunny. 53 in light rain entire afternoon, evening. Okay, that might not be too bad then. Let's see. Frank Tank, why would Detroit Lions run plays for a running quarterback that is not how we play this game? Correct. I agree with that. Johnny L, come on, Brad, make it happen, please. We're praying. Frank, think everybody's going home for a running quarterback and go back and look at the league. Look how many games they miss. This is also probably true. Dennis, will the real broski please stand up? We'll see if they do. Okay, so if I was J-Mo, I wouldn't want to resign back here because some of these fans. A lot can change in the next year or so, though. Now, Margaret, best bring the long, wet grass cleats. Yes, they're going to have to address it for sure. General Brown, hey, good to see you, my friend, as always. Playing Love on a wet field with a groin injury wouldn't be smart. I would agree with you there. If they're really if they're thinking about, hey, just this game, then fine, go and do it. If they're thinking about their season, no, I would not do it. Let's see. ZZZ Lions. Goff was limping around after last game. Hooker was not moving the ball, probably why he was practicing, just in case he has to play if Goff can't go or can't play. Yes, you could be spot on with that, Z's Lions. All balls. I rewatched that despicable ref job of the 2019 game, and we got them again. I was upset watching the game again. I sure hope they call a fair game. Me too, man. And yeah, it's just that's why I was surprised they signed that crew, given the history at Lambeau Field, especially. All balls. Remember me asking you about that a week ago, Dan? What's happened with Brad Holmes does nothing. He's saying, man, we're good with the guys we got. I guess that's what happens. Let's see. David JMO would really help Super Bowl run, especially if we need to score like crazy. Yeah, might be. Dennis, ADHD for Decker. Maybe he's losing his focus. Motown, easy answer, all balls and no D, win the Super Bowl without adding anyone. Okay, we'll go with that. Frank Thing, Derek Jared Goff has no problem in the cold for the last 2 years. You guys need to give up on that. Was 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm down with that. Guido, 2 NFL players got shot this year. Can you blame him for not having a gun specifically in Detroit? Okay, fair take. Frank Tank, you guys need to give up on the Jared Goff not able to play in the cold weather. Was 2 years ago. Jared Goff is a new man and new person. He is all hard love like his head coach. Go Lions. Yeah, he's just like the team. Yes, I agree with that. Egon, what do you got? Smith is still in the mix, hopefully. We'll find out, my friend. Maybe. Frank Tank, what's wrong with Taylor Decker? There are professional football players on the other side of the field. They are. And other than 2 quarters, I think he's been okay, but we definitely want to keep an eye on it for sure. All right, got to speed through these last ones here. Philippines on demand, a big no to Chase Young. Just saying no, fair enough. Scott, I wish Holmes would stop trying to low ball teams and just have interest in trading with this. This is starting to feel like last year all over again. You might be right. Keith, though, add a tight end on Decker's side if he is struggling like Skipper. They might have to do that. Dimitri, Bradley Hall, stop it with the hate stuff. Ding, look at what Rice did and nobody talking about it. Stop the hate. Fair enough. Phil, good morning. Back at you, Phil. Egon, what do you got? Well, at least there isn't anything going on the deadline day. Maybe not. Maybe not at all. Yeah, I get what you're doing there. Or saying there. Frank, Scott, Brad Holmes is not going to trade for nobody. You might as well just give up on that stuff. No big name guys. Oh, there you go. Moonscar, good morning, Phil. Sign service, Buddha is not coming here laughing out loud. Yeah, it'd be different if maybe they just hadn't been winning, but they're in first place. I don't see it happening at this point. Michael, you glitched out, Dan. Sorry about that. Let's see, Bo, Max Headroom, Dan. Maybe I do have a black shirt on this morning. All right, Dimitri, y'all get off JMO. He did nothing wrong. Yeah, that's what I would say. He's fam, stop it with the trade talk. Yeah, stuff. Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I mean, he didn't break any laws. It's unfortunate the timing of the stop in the video, but I would say this: it just seems odd that they released that video right after his suspension. I don't know. It felt like somebody trying to make a name for themselves over at WXYZ Detroit. DM5, thanks, Dan. Got to run. Go Lions. Woo! We'll see you next time, my friend. Have a good one. Bo, happy trails. David, most of us love JMO. I would agree with that. Most of us do. Brent, happy trails, one pride. Okay, and I'll go ahead and get out of here. Congrats, Dodgers. Yes, 100%, 100% to them. All right, guys, if there is breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, if you would be so kind, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. Be a good person. Do something kind for someone you don't know. And we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.